I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Apart from being a medical doctor, I'm a social scientist. I have a master's degree in one of the aspects of the social sciences. So I try to analyze society. I don't throw away African culture because I'm a Christian. It's not everything about us that is demonic. There are core principles and practices in African tradition that we can apply to modern living. So I'm going to share two key principles with you. That statement I made that the day your mate dies, you should sit down and reflect and think about your own life. Miles Monroe and his wife died in a plane crash with top management members of his ministry because they were in one space, in one vehicle, going to a major event. The death of our brother Herbert Wigwe, his wife and his son and his friend, they were in one plane, one chopper, going for a major event, and they crashed and they died. In Urhobo tradition, the crown prince and the king do not live in the same palace. Simple reason: to avoid conflict, to avoid the Absalom and David conflict. Because according to Chris Agere's principle, a time comes in an organization, and we can apply it to a kingdom, when a normal psychologically mature adult like the prince, his personal interest comes in conflict with organizational goals. So you see in Europe, the duke of this, the duke of that, they give them different territories and palaces to stay outside Buckingham Palace, so that the prince will not start agitating. Managing grown-up children is very difficult. I have a range of 38 to 28. My eldest son is 38. The last child is my last born, and my son is 28. When they become adults, when they are highly educated, when they become financially stable, it's very difficult to manage them. Not to talk of when you live in the same confinement with them. So you will now see that the prince might have problem with the kings, with the queens, and the wife of the prince might have problem with the wives of the king. So conflict might come, so they keep them aside. And the grandson is not allowed to see the king. Number one, let him not start desiring to be a king too early. But so that also the prince will not start agitating to take over from the father when he sees the luxuries and the enjoyment the father goes, the privileges that he enjoys. But they also do not stay under the same roof in an event at the same time, in case the building collapses. Number two, in case invaders come, they won't kill the king and the crown prince at the same time. And in case there is a palace school, the king and the crown prince will not be killed at the same time. My children were holidaying in Germany. My eldest son, my second son, my first grandson, and my daughter-in-law. And they were driving to Holland. I think they drove to Holland and they were coming back from Germany, drove to Holland from Germany, and they were coming back. And I always monitor them, where are you? They say, we're in so place, we're coming back from Holland. Who is driving? He says, my second son. I said, no, you can't do that. Stop somewhere, give the driving wheel to my eldest son. He is the owner of the car. He is resident in Germany. He's more used to his car. He's more used to the rules in Germany. He's more used to the roads in Germany. Both of them are licensed to drive in Europe. My second son started driving an SUV in Nigeria before going to Europe, so he's quite a good driver. But my eldest son knows the roads better. though there is GPS and all that, he's more conversant with the system. And it was night. So they had to stop that nonsense. Because if anything happens, two of my eldest boys will just go, including my only grandson. Now, will just go. Two generations will just be wiped out. And I'm the only one remaining from my father's loins. In fact, I had an immediate elder brother, direct elder brother. I had two other brothers, half brothers. When my father saw that I was a light in the household, and I come from a very idolatrous background with shrines and everything everywhere, he told me very early, immediately I finished higher school, don't stay here, go very far. So I schooled in the University of Ibadan. I went to College of Medicine, University of Ibadan. I went to Aba for youth service. He said, stay there. And I stayed there until I was 40 before I came back. And he warned me, don't ever contest for anything with your senior cousin. I had a cousin that was very senior to me. He could be my father. See, don't struggle anything with him. Why? He was preserving my life. He didn't want a situation where jealousy and over proximity will lead to harm. He didn't want a situation where contention will lead to harm. And so, ancient wisdom from my father taught me these key principles, and I still apply them till today. The next thing is Jacob. When Jacob was going to see Esau, he arranged his family in such a way, after praying or before praying, he arranged his family in such a way with wisdom that the children of the maids were in front. Then he had gifts in front, had servants in between, another set of children with gifts, another set of children like that. And the wisdom was that he will not go with all of them in case Esau, who was coming with, I think about 400 men. I can't remember exactly. If they overwhelmed Jacob with this his small family relative to Esau's own, the dynasty of Jacob will be wiped out. But in case Jacob attacked the children of the maids, who might not be direct inheritors of the legacy that God promised Abraham, he and the remaining ones could escape. In fact, he kept Joseph and Benjamin at the rear. Don't ever travel with your whole family in one craft, in one vehicle. I know a woman who use motorbikes as transport in Ogili here. He will never allow her two children to enter the same motorbike because people were dying a lot then. Somebody told me of a man that anytime his son comes with his whole family in his car to come and visit him, he locks the door. He doesn't attend to them. Said he has warned you never to travel with your whole family in one vehicle. So that is the lesson I want to share with you today, and you should take it seriously. Our ancestors applied it. Jacob applied it. There are people that still apply it. I think in the British aristocracy, the ruling family, they all don't travel in one vehicle. So these are principles we should learn and we should apply. Let's have the consciousness. Do not be ignorant of the devices of the enemy. When great things are about to happen, the devil plays over time. Our brother was about to open a university, and this tragedy came. I pray that the family has the fortitude to bear the loss, and our condolences to them. We're not doing this to trend. We're doing this to educate and for us to learn. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. God bless you. Share this with your family members and with your friends so that we can learn.